It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the interviews from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, actually, this is one of my favorite times of the week. We're back and we're recapping the Real Housewives of New York City. I love Dorinda, so this is almost painful to watch. And I don't know, we're going to jump into it, guys. But before we do, you know how this works. Make sure you like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel, wherever that button is. That way you don't miss any of my future interviews or pop culture content. Guys, so pretty much we kick off this reunion, well, the next part of this reunion with Dorinda and Tinsley. So I guess Dorinda feels like Tinsley hasn't been so transparent in her life, and especially on the show. Andy goes to interject and let Dorinda know, you've been really mean to Tinsley this season. And she acknowledges that. You know, Dorinda tries to give us what people are calling, the fans are calling a makeshift apology, and Tinsley's not really having it. She's pretty much saying too little, too late. When Andy brought up the fan question of asking why none of the ladies came to Tinsley's defense this season, Leah said that, you know, listen, I tried to forge a relationship between Dorinda and Tinsley and make something happen, but Tinsley didn't show up to the meeting, so it's not my fault. And she was new. So Leah's pretty much saying like, hey, dude, I had my hands tied, but I tried. And then, of course, we have a little bit of shade where one of the viewers says that they think that Dorinda's jealous of Tinsley and her life. Dorinda pretty much goes on to let us know that she's not jealous and that she doesn't envy or ever want to have a life like Tinsley has with Scott. When Andy asked Dorinda, you know, why did you get so angry at the finale and freak out over that toast? Dorinda said it's because it's not authentic. The toast isn't authentic, and paying homage to Tinsley, it's just not right, and she wasn't going to sit there through it, especially because Dorinda kind of feels like Tinsley cost them a lot by leaving mid-season and the way that she did everything. Dorinda has her own feelings about this. So Dorinda's not paying homage to Tinsley, and Ramona's going to the bathroom, but like Andy said, don't forget your mask. Of course, like any reunion, we get the flashbacks, and this time it's of the cast trips, kind of how much of a wreck the cast trips are. And like the fans did say, you know, there's a lot of drinking that was done this season. It was a lot. I like, though, when Andy kind of pokes fun and he asks Tinsley, how do you make out with your sister? I kind of want to know that too, Tins. Tinsley had a good attitude, though. She laughs it off, said it happened 20 years ago, and they were just joking, trying to show somebody how to kiss. But Andy was really impressed. He was impressed that Leah got her to swim naked and kind of act crazy, act wild out there. I like that Andy pointed out the fact that Ramona did get a lot of heat for walking into the Mexican villa, referring to the staff as servants. But we have to give it to Ramona. She owns it. She did own it. And that's one of the things about her and why they keep her around. You know, she has conflict and resolution. And that's important for a housewife. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but it's true. It's you have a job to do, conflict, resolution. You can't be conflict all the time. You have to have a little bit of resolution. It has to be a little give and take. And Ramona does that. And the words of Lisa Rinna, she owns it. But we're not talking about her. Don't even get me started on Lisa Rinna right now. Let's stick to Real Housewives of New York. So again, Ramona owns it. She says she was wrong and says that she doesn't always say the right thing. So now Tinsley's leaving the group. Of course, guys, we have to recognize the fact that Luann finished her probation this year, and you know they're going to take a look back at her story. I love the messy editing of Bravo because that's about as messy as I get. Andy wanted to know what the biggest change was from last year with Luann as opposed to this year, and this is what the lady said. Ramona said that she's more real. Dorinda said that she's more centered. And Andy ultimately said that he's happy to see that Dorinda and Luann are back together. Dorinda goes on to say that she has a lot in common with Luann, and she really enjoys her company. One of the fans want Luann to stop saying that she was incarcerated because she only spent one night in jail. But then, of course, she leads into her past with her family, and it's going to be in the book. Luann's father had a problem with alcohol, and it really affected her upbringing. I'm sure it's going to all be in the book. And so now she's had her own personal battle with it. And Ramona did say, I think it's great how much Luann's evolved, and I do too. I think it's great. Then, of course, if we're talking about Luann, we have to talk about the cabaret. And this is when Sonia still says, Luann doesn't pay her. Luann says, I do pay you. Sonia's like, nope, you don't pay me. At least not what she's worth. Honestly, after watching her in her impromptu performance, I think that she's great. I think, yeah, you need to pay her more. She's kind of the show. Like when they were saying a lot of her jokes are falling flat, or Sonia saying that, which may not be fair because she could be biased because she probably likes her performance better. But what I'm trying to say is, from what I watched, I liked watching Sonia more. I love Luann, but what do you guys think? Actually, what do you guys think? We have to get into some more shadiness where Andy throws out, you women, you kind of go after a lot of these guys out there. You guys are kind of aggressive. And I think it's funny because Leah agrees. Then we see a lot of footage, of course, and then we get to find out that Dorinda's talking to somebody. So she reveals to Andy, yeah, I might be talking to somebody, but I'm waiting to see where it goes after COVID. And I'm curious. And now that we know that Dorinda's not coming back, she's obviously taking time for herself. I'm curious to see what happens with that, because if she didn't get as necessarily like nasty, aggressive, I love her on The Real Housewives of New York. I would love to see her come back. Again, guys, let's keep it moving. So we end up moving into the Leah Ramona territory. So obviously Leah has a little bit of a wild side and Ramona doesn't like it. She totally disapproves. She says that it kind of scares her and takes her back to her childhood. I guess everybody's going down memory lane with their childhood, at least in this reunion. Leah goes on to say that Ramona is super harsh and judgmental, but Ramona's honest. She says, I don't like you when you drink. I don't. You become a different person. I'm not used to dealing with people like that, like Leah, pretty much. And she doesn't like to be around her when she's, Since we're talking about Leah, Andy brings up the whole mental health topic and the fact that one of Ramona's friends brought up that Leah was bipolar. So Ramona doesn't really take accountability for this, but Leah goes on to let us know that now after this aired, she had to explain to her daughter exactly what bipolar was, thanks to Ramona. Or that's how Leah sees it. Ramona has a different outlook, though. She's pretty much at this point like, hey, own it. Help America. Talk about your story. Put it out there. That's exactly what this platform is for. And kind of ending it on a fun note, Andy asked, hey, did you get a facelift? Ramona swears she didn't, though. She just has her Ageless by Ramona skincare. I think she looks great, too. But it wasn't her who had the facelift, guys. It was Sonia, if you guys remember correctly. Guys, this was such an awesome reunion. I really enjoyed it. Much better than The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season. So thank you guys so much for watching with me. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel, wherever that button is. That way you don't miss any of my future interviews or pop culture content. And guys, we're going to be going live with Mama D from Real Housewives of Dallas this Monday, September 21st at 1 p.m. PST. So make sure you guys are there. Send me your questions, join in, and let's have fun. And until then, catch me tomorrow at 10 a.m. to do a live recap of tonight's episode. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.